What's up, guys? Jam Deeper here. Today I'm gonna start digging into a evap ventilation solenoid malfunction. I think it's what it is on a Mazda 3. I have gone through the diagrams and whatnot to see what we're getting into. I've gone into this little filter here. I think this is where my issues really started. There's no protective cover here, so it just seems like everything from the tire just goes right up into this little evap filter here. When I opened it up, it was all just crumbled apart. I think it's crumbled and gone into the actual solenoid that's behind the tire here, up behind the gas tank. So today I went to the junkyard and got basically the whole system up to the rear door. I've got the whole canister, the solenoid, and then I got the whole new hose that goes up there with the new filter in it. I haven't seen any videos of this Mazda 3, but I've read a few forums, people wondering where to start. So we'll dig into this. It's gonna be kind of a process. I don't really know how long it'll take. The one at the junkyard already had the gas tank dropped, and mine, I just put a full tank in it. So it might be a couple days before I can run it low on fuel, drop the tank, and get in there and do it. Getting the actual evap canister, the charcoal canister, it's not that fun. I guess short and simple, I had to get to a point where I had to take this rear sway bar off because it's just in the way. It's held in there with 10mm bolts, and then you have to take the plate off the bottom of the subframe in between the tires, and it kind of you just jam it down through there. So it is a pain, but the $27 I spent at the junkyard is probably a little better than taking it to a dealership and having them do it. So hope it helps. I'll post the ins and outs and do's and don'ts. Alright, guys, here's what I got at the junkyard today. We've got the whole canister. I've got hoses. If I remember right, both of these go to the gas tank. I just cut that end one. So I'll use the one that I still have. And that one goes to the top of the gas tank. So this will run here, it'll go through the canister, and then back out of the canister, and then into, I believe that will be the vent control, because there's actually a plug here, and I believe that would be what tells it that there's a leak. And then I also grabbed the new filter hose. That's the one that goes up under the tire. It all sits in like this, up in the wheel well. So from here we can see, let me get my diagram here. So here's my code, P0446, the evaporative emissions vent system control circuit. Looking into it, it gives basically where you need to start. The canister is the big thing that's talking about here. The control, so it says the control the canister vent control valve is located on the canister. Well, maybe, but the way it all plugs in, I would think that that would be what tells it that there's a leak. But I figure since I'm in there, I probably don't just want to change that in case I do have a cracked canister. So in this diagram, I have 3, the canister, 4 is this one here, and then this hose, yeah, in the gas tank is what connects into it. And I also have number 5, the 6 is the vent control, I'm assuming, and 7, that's the little filter up above the wheel well. So that's where I need to start. I'll try and get a better look here of this other vent. So this is passenger rear tire, and there's the filler neck, and that's the filter. So I opened this one up like I was saying, and it's basically just falling apart. So maybe pieces of it went through the tube. It drops down. Let's see if we can get to it. Around the frame, and then up in there is where it'll be. That's the controller valve tucked up in there. You can see it's a real convenient place. These 4 bolts is I'm assuming it's just a guard, like a skid plate, because that's the canister right there, tucked up and in there. So that line with this green tab on it will be one that I need to keep because I didn't grab that. As I was saying, I had to take these sway bar bolts out on both sides and basically drop the sway bar out of the way of the one in the junkyard. So depending on how easy I can get to it, I'm maybe going to attempt doing this without dropping the gas tank, but I don't know how easy it's gonna be. I guess it's worth a shot, huh? We'll see how it goes. Okay, guys. Here we are. I have not replaced the evap system yet, but I'm driving it without a check engine light, and I am almost to a half a tank of gas. The only thing I have done is vacuum out that filter tube. There's that tube that goes into the solenoid, the valve, the leak valve that I was talking to you about with the filter in it. How my filter, I had taken it apart, taken it out, and it kind of just fell apart in my hands. So I just took the shop vacuum to that and possibly sucked a bunch of that pieces of that filter out of the valve. I don't know if that's fixed it. The rumors that I've heard about when the evap system checks for leaks, or that valve opens, or the purge system works, there's a few things that I've read. One of them is that it's 4 hours after you shut off your car from a warm-up. So I've done that plenty of times. I mean, I've been driving it since Saturday. I filled up the tank. I've been driving it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It's now Thursday. So, I mean, I've been driving it, gone to work 10-hour days, so I know the car sits for more than 4 hours, sits more than 4 hours overnight. That's one thing I read, and that's when you'll get your check engine light, is after those 4 hours of sitting there, the system runs and detects a leak, or that it's not pressurizing correctly, or if your valve's bad, then it won't be able to check for leak. You'll get another code that way too. Another one I heard was the gas tank has to be between like 35 and 73% full, which obviously I'm almost to a half a tank here. You can see no check engine light. So that's another thing I read. I have a 2000 Jeep Cherokee that also has an evap leak, and it's had an evap leak since the day I bought it. Researching that, I've found that it won't recognize an evap leak, or the system won't pressurize until a half a tank. So it's just one of those things that the evap systems require the certain criteria. I would imagine that, well, if you think about it, there's more vapor in the gas tank if there's less gas in the gas tank. So riddle me that. We'll see. I'm just gonna keep driving it. I drive 32 miles to work and 32 miles back home every day. Well, Monday to Friday, but and the car obviously, like I said, sits more than 4 hours on those days. Sits over 4 hours every night. So we'll keep driving it. I'll see you soon. Alright guys, so I finally got the check engine light to come on after, let's see, right here, 308 miles. I filled up the tank when the light came on, and then I got down to about 80% fuel here. 15 warm-ups of the car, and the evap system started working. So I don't know if me cleaning out the vent control, that little filter, I don't know if that made it last a little longer. I'm debating on clearing it again and then seeing how long it'll last with a new filter. Maybe it has to do something with that, but I figure start small and see if we can make it able to work with the small stuff first. I've already got the car registered for the year. I've already passed all the safety and emissions thing for the year, so basically I have a whole year to mess around with it before I need to run it again. So we'll see how it goes.